Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this FreeXAR dash cam that was sent over to me for my honest opinion video. This is a 4-channel dash cam with 4K Ultra HD on the front and 1080p for the sides and the rear. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox this and see what's inside, and then we'll go ahead and get it installed into the car, and we'll take a look at the video qualities, the audio qualities, and then I'll give you my opinion at the end. Alright, so let's go ahead and open it up. Oh, actually, before we open it up, let's go ahead and take a look at the box in the back here. So again, this is a 4-channel with the front 4K camera and 1080p at the side and the rear. It does have a Super Night Vision 2.0. Not sure what that means. It also has a G sensor, Wi-Fi, GPS, and they do include a 128 gigabyte memory card, along with voice control, parking mode, loop recording, WDR. This mode right here, you're going to require a hardwired kit to tap into the fuse box of your car. So they do not include the hardwired kit in this box here. So just get that out of the way. So what you're going to do is probably power it up through the cigarette lighter. So that's what we're going to do. We have a really nice diagram here. It tells you how to hook it up. Okay. And then here is the box. They do have a nice foam cushion up here for the camera. It is a nice big camera. Okay, so if you don't like dash cams with a small screen, I would totally recommend this one. This is big. This is about, I want to say 3 inches. Really nice big screen. And then the side cameras. Let's see if you can swivel up and down. Yep. Now some dash cams, you can't swivel up or down like this, or left or right, but this one you can angle it quite like a lot better than the other ones. So I'm going to go ahead and take off those lens cover because we are going to test the video quality in just a little bit, and I'm going to go over the menu in a little bit as well. So in the back here, that is the camera in the back here. It does say wide angle lens, quad cam system. Oh, and they have a nice little protective piece right here too. That's pretty cool. Can I adjust this? No, I cannot adjust this. So that's a zonk right there. At the top here is the sticky mounting pad for you to mount it on your windshield, and it does swivel a little bit to give you that little extra wiggle room right there. Right here, that is where the SD card is, you can see. And then you have the rear camera that goes into this slot, and then the USB-C power that goes in through here. Okay, and then at the bottom there's some buttons down here. You have that, I don't know what that icon is, but you have a left, power, right, and the OK. Alright, so let's check out what else is in the box and put that down. Okay, so in the box you get the rest of the wire, the camera, the rear camera. So this is the rear camera right here, big too. This is the power to the cigarette lighter, and they give you a little prying tool to help you with the installation. They give you some cable management clips right here, and they also give you a nice little sticker that says this car is protected by FreeXAR dashcam. In here they also give you an extra mounting sticky pad, and then you have these clear sticky sheets that you put onto the windshield before you install the camera. So this will go between the windshield and that right there. Okay, and then finally the last thing you get in here is just a nice little microfiber cleaning cloth in here. All right, so we'll go ahead and put all of that back into the box, and I'm gonna power up the camera and we'll go through the menu. I have a little power supply, USB power supply here. Let's see if it'll power on. There it is. It is on. Okay, so there is the power The camera right now, it's only showing 3 cameras because I do not have the rear hooked up yet. So it's asking, do I want to format, yes or no? Okay, so that took a while. Now this is probably the menu button down here, so I'll go ahead and hit menu. Okay, so let's go through the menu here. Browse files, resolution mode, loop recording. Okay, we're not going to browse files because we don't have anything in there yet. So let's go check the resolution. So you have 2 options. You have the front to be 4K, the sides to be 1080p, and then you also have the front to be 2K and the sides to be 1080p. If you want to save some memory on your memory card, then you want to choose this option down here. But if you want the best quality video, then choose this one up here, which we will go with. And then the loop recording, you can set it to 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 3 minutes. I like to set all my dash cam to 3 minutes, so I'll go ahead and choose that. The screen, do you want to go auto on or off? Let's just go ahead in here, and then you have some option to just keep it on all the time. If you want the screen to be on all the time, you keep it at off. Okay. If you want the screen to go off after 30 seconds of inactivity, then you want to select this button, and so forth. Okay, so I'm going to keep it on at all times, so I'm going to select off. Okay, and then the date and time, this is where you can go ahead and select the date and time, today's date, and we will mess with this later. And then the date format, you want to do day, month, year. That's USA. I'm in the USA, so I go with this format. Microphone, you want to turn the microphone on or off. I want to leave it on in case I want to say something, and in case the camera does not capture the accident, I can always speak the license plate of the car that caused the accident. So I'm going to keep it on. And then anti-flicker, you want to keep it to 50 Hertz or 60 Hertz. I want to keep it to 60 Hertz. Okay, now we're in page 2. This adjusts the brightness. Okay, you have all the way up to level 2. I'm going to keep it at 0 right now, at normal. Language, I'm pretty sure I want to keep it at English, but there are a couple of options for you to choose from in here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then sensitive, the G sensor sensitivity, do you want it to be off, high, low? Now what this does is, if the camera detects that your car maybe goes through a bump, or maybe gets hit by another car, this will activate the camera so that it will automatically lock that footage for you, so that the camera doesn't override it. So I want to keep this at middle. Okay, so I don't want it to be too sensitive or not sensitive enough, so I'll keep it at middle. Here's the volume button. It could get really loud, or completely off. We will keep it at level 5. The mirror, do you want to flip the mirror? No, I'm going to keep everything at default. Okay. GPS, you want to keep it on. Speed unit, do you want it in miles per hour, kilometers per hour, or do you want it off? Well, just keep it at miles per hour. And then Wi-Fi, do you want to use 5.8 or 2.4? The Wi-Fi has been shut down. Wi-Fi password has been shut down as well, but we'll mess with this later. Now going on to page 3, we are in the Pacific Standard Time, so we'll keep it, whatever it is. And then IRLED, I'm not sure what this is, but we'll just keep it at auto. Voice control, do you want to use your voice command to command the dash cam, I suppose. You can turn it on or off, and then it shows you all the voice control lines that you can say to the camera. So there it is. If you want to study it, memorize it, that's up to you. Format the memory card. It's good. It's a good idea to format the memory card every now and then. So just if you need to do that, then just know that it is in this part of the menu in page 3. And then here is the option to reset the whole entire system. Here is where you will go to download the app. So it gives you a QR code, same as the one that is in your instruction manual. And then this is the firmware version in case you need to update the firmware version. We are on version 0.02 right now. No need to update that right now. And then if you need to contact support, there it is. There's the QR to contact support. So overall, pretty good, pretty basic menu, easy to use, easy to navigate. So let's go back and let's go ahead and take a look at this. So as long as I have power running into here and I go back to the default screen, it'll automatically start recording. Lock file. This button locks the file. This button takes a photo. This button turns off the screen. And this button right here toggles between all the different cameras. Okay, so this is the right camera right here. And then this, and then clicking it toggles back to the split screen right here. So you do get the miles per hour readout right here. Your speed readout is right there. You do get the date up here. There's a time right there, and you get all these icons up here. You get the battery level, the Wi-Fi is off right now, SD card is in, microphone is on right there. The GPS is off right now because I don't have it hooked up yet. I don't think there was a GPS in here though. Yeah, I didn't see a GPS unit in here. I'm not sure if it's built in or not, but there it is, guys. It is actually really nice. Okay, so I got the dash cam installed. As you can see, really easy to do. The power goes in here, the reverse camera goes in here. Now you can see I have 4 screens now instead of 3. So there it is. That's the rear camera. I have it facing down. And then this is the driver's side camera. This is the passenger side camera, and this is the front camera right here. So really cool setup. It is a nice big screen, which I do like because you can see the screen. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just toggle through that. Oh, it splits it front and back. I'm sorry, it splits it front and sides. And then here is the front. I'm gonna just go ahead and just kind of move that up. Okay, so you want to put it onto the big full screen so that you can get it like accurately adjusted right here. Okay, that's what you want to do. Okay, and then this, oh, that's the, I need to mess with this right here. So put it on the full screen and then adjust the camera position. Okay, now that is that side over there. That's good right there. Okay, now that is the rear camera right there. I will have to go and fix it because it is facing down. I have gone ahead and adjusted the rear camera. Now it did went into black and white mode because I have a tint on the rear windshield. So when it detects that it is too dark, it thinks that it's nighttime, so it goes into black and white mode in order to preserve the video quality. So that is normal. It is pretty wide. It's a wide angle right there. And there it is again in all 4 screens. So yeah, let's go ahead and do a test drive. Okay, so this is the front camera right here. This is recorded in 4K, and I did resize it to fit a 1080p video. So as you can see, the video footage quality is very nice and sharp, nice and clear. It is recording at 30 frames per second, and on the bottom left you have the date, the time, and the speed, which is really nice. Now we have here the driver's side camera that is facing me, and it is facing out to my blind spot. As you can see, the quality is also really good. You have the time, the date, and the speed as well. However, it is important to note that the side cameras and the rear cameras, they don't record at 30 frames per second. they do 25 frames per second, which is fine though. And here is the passenger side. As you can see, it records the entire blind spot all the way down to the rear view, to the rear windshield. So a really nice coverage here. The camera angle is really wide, so you get great coverage. And finally, we have the rear camera. Once again, it is in black and white because I do have a pretty dark tint on the rear windshield of my car. So the camera thinks that it is nighttime, so it switched to black and white. But the thing about this one here though is that it still keeps the clarity of the picture. Everything is still nice and crisp. You can see all the details from the road, all the road dust, road specks, and it's really clear. I really like it a lot. And finally, here you can see a video footage of me driving directly into the sun. So as you can see, the sun is pretty bright and pretty harsh, but you can still see all the details all around. So in my opinion, this camera, for all the features that you get and the quality of the image, I think it is absolutely worth it. I think that if you are in the market for a new dash cam, this one, you should highly consider it.